Okay, so today I'm going to be using a webcam for the first time in a while. I think the last series I used it for was that square off board, like the in person. I'd put the board up here and you could move the pieces and play online with it, like with chess. And actually, I think I tested that recently. And what they did is they sort of throttled the chess.com stuff because it's now, they're trying to get you to only use the chess up board if you're going to do that or play on the site. So they sort of are trying to monopolize even that market. So before you could just use it on chess.com freely, but now they're trying to make it so that you have to use only the chess.com approved one to do it, which is a little bit annoying, but whatever. The point is, I didn't really use that much, but that was one little mini series I did with the webcam where I showed that board, and then I did the other one where, or kind of similar, like I was trying to do a Rubik's Cube, and I was trying to do, I think I tried doing like a food review or something once too, like every time I get some different food I haven't tried before. I could like show it and just to make the most of the visual aspect of it. So, that was the main series I did with it. Either like I did the Kindle Scribe. So like I was doing a writing stream and you could see it physically when I'm writing on the Kindle Scribe. I did the Rubik's Cube. I did the um obviously the square off board. So those were the main uses of it just as like a gimmick. But in reality that's actually less of a gimmick because based on my past history, like even in all the years of streaming or doing whatever, I never actually did face cam. So everyone knows I dislike that and I hate the, cult of personality basis that represents. So it's kind of like, oh, let the content speak for itself or whatever you're doing should be interesting on its own. And you shouldn't need to, you know, it shouldn't be about you. It should be about what you're doing or something that you're good at or whatever, something of interest. So yeah, I never did face cam, and so this is the only use of a webcam that I would do is if it's something like physical in real life, something tangible to show and something interesting like that. So what we're going to do here is something I thought about for a while, but I never really had the means or the desire to actually do it fully. So I bought a couple things all at once, which might seem a bit extreme, and we'll have to see. Maybe that was a mistake, but whatever. These are kind of things I was going to get anyway at some point. So and after like years of saving, whatever. So we are gonna start now. Right now, what I'm using is the shitty webcam I was using for all of those streams, which is just like a $30 one you get at Walmart, and it's just really not very good resolution or whatever, right? But this is what I was using in my previous videos. So very fittingly, I won't even say everything that I got. I'll like kind of let it be a surprise and build up to it, right? Like we'll see it as we go. But um, well, first of all, oh yeah, and the whole cult of personality thing, like I even wear a glove and stuff too. It's not even just to avoid doxing purposes, although some of these I have to be careful. Like maybe the box or something. Most of these I got in person, not online, so it's not like it'll have a label with my name on it, but um, it'll sort of dox you or stuff like that. But that's not even the main thing. It's just a cult of personality thing. Like it shouldn't be about that, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I don't like the whole part of that, like showing the face or anything. It should be about what you're doing, not who you are. So even though the whole content space has become way more like that, to be fair, it wasn't like that necessarily at the beginning. If you go back to like early YouTubers or even like gaming channels and stuff, there was like a lot of let's plays and some of these big channels, and they didn't show their face, right? And then you started to get some of the PewDiePie and whatnot over time. But I think of like the Rad Brad or even like Chris Smoove and stuff, like showing face cam wasn't always necessary or a big thing, right? But now it's, and you can always point to, like in hindsight, like oh, some big creator could say, oh, I could not do face cam. I think like Pokemon said that at one point or something. Like, oh, I could not do face cam and I still get like 20K viewers, but that's only because you're already established and you benefited from that all these years, right? And all this time. And even like you could point to an exception. I think like Lyric is a good big creator who doesn't do it, and there's a lot of people I'm sure who still don't do it, and who do well. But I'm just saying like it makes it a lot harder, or it's a lot whatever. People like to put a face to the name and all that kind of shit. So yeah, so we even do the gloves. So I'll do it mostly with one hand. Not the only thing I do with one hand, but no, it's like because I'm actually holding the wireless mic. That's one of the recent things I got too. So I can't really unbox that, but I'll probably show that too. So first we're starting, like I said, I'm using the shitty webcam that I had used for the square off and all those other things. But the first thing I'm actually unboxing is going to be a camera. So then hopefully I'll be able to use that, although I might have to charge it, so I won't be able to do it right here. But it's actually a camera, so that's very fitting. Because the first unboxing I'll do is of that. Then I'll use that very thing I just unboxed to then show off the rest of it. So hopefully I can do that somewhat smoothly here. So that's kind of the point. But I chose this before anything else because hopefully I can use this to actually show it, which I don't know how exactly that works or if it'll hook up to the computer and I can use it as like a capture device. But so this is going to be, I don't think any of these barcodes and stuff on the side should be a bad thing to show, right? Like I don't actually know. I don't see why it would matter because it's just, I guess you could find out something from that, like the exact store it sold from or something. But even then, that wouldn't tell you who bought it because it was, again, it's just like a random thing. I don't know, but whatever. The point is, this is even one that's labeled as being like, oh, for content creators. So this one was about $500, like I think like $549, and it's the digital camera ZV-1F. So supposedly this is a pretty good quality camera, and a couple warnings on the side. Let's read through everything, but I can't show it really as I'm doing it because I can't see that angle. This product contains a non-replaceable button coin cell battery. That's always concerning when you say a non-replaceable battery. So then what happens if it burns out? What if you have to replace it? Warning. Keep new and used batteries out of reach of children. Seek immediate medical attention. Batteries suspected to be swallowed or inserted inside a part of a body. But then the one side I won't show you because it has the sticker with the thing, or maybe I could peel it off. Hang on. Well, whatever. It just says Sony digital camera ZV-1F, black, digital camera made in Thailand, battery made in China. For foreign origin, accessories included. See actual items. So yeah, this is like my first unboxing that I've done on camera, maybe ever. I don't know. Which I was thinking maybe I should do this, I should have maybe done this for some of those other things. No, I think I did the square off, actually, to be fair. I did do the square off because I showed it as I was setting it up. So I'm not necessarily going to use a lot of this stuff immediately, but I kind of just want to do this. Let's see. This is a little hard to do with one hand. Let me see. I don't necessarily want to wreck the box either, but hang on. I want to show the act of me doing it, but I can't because I'm so... Okay, whatever. So you missed the part of me doing that, but whatever. We pull the flap. Like, it's instructional too. If you're too stupid to know how to open a box, I'm showing you how to do it. Again, this is like a $500 camera. It could be good for like making short films or whatever stuff. It could be good for whatever IRL and whatnot. The one thing that happens with that is I always think of like a phone being better to do that stuff with, even though I don't like necessarily having a great phone or anything, but you can be holding a phone and you could just pretend like you're texting or something, right? If you're doing it like in public or whatever these IRL people do. Whereas with this, it's clearly a camera, so now they'll get nervous, like, oh, they think you're recording them or whatever, right? Like there's a different dynamic to it. You can just have your phone anywhere and nobody will question it, and you could be recording or you might not be, but this makes it too conspicuous and too much of a spectacle. So we're opening it. It's not a very big size. Based on the box, obviously you could tell that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to open it one by one. This could be like almost an ASMR effect that kind of ASMR unboxing. All the kind of weird stuff that people value now that, you would consider, you would have made fun of necessarily in the past. Right, but now is considered normal. So this is 2 times double your warranty period, which again, I'm pretty careful with my shit, so I don't really care about that, but just my registering. There's like a QR code, so it's a little shitty sticky note that we have, and then I have another piece of paper here. I'm just making sure it's not showing something doxing. I'm actually kind of nervous about showing the barcodes in case somehow you can trace that back, but I don't see how really. That would just show you at most like, oh, that one was sold in this store, maybe. Camcorder, digital still camera, interchangeable lens accessory. Let's see. And I doubt, sadly, that I'm even going to use this for too many things because, but it's just good to have one, right? Like if I do want to make some little IRL type shit that I never really do. But this is the other piece of paper, just like some warnings and whatever. Limited warranty. And then this is going to be ingestion hazard. This product contains a button cell or a coin battery. I like how they're not even sure. You're not even sure what you're talking about. It could be a button cell or it could be a coin. Death or serious injury can occur if ingested. A swallowed button cell or coin battery can cause internal chemical burns in as little as 2 hours. Yeah, this little warning slip. None of this stuff is too exciting, but I mean, you may as well show it off because this is the whole excitement of if I spent 500 bucks on this shit, I'm gonna certainly get my money's worth by showing it off. And there is a certain irony to this first one. It's like I'm using a shitty camera that I was using before to now to unbox a better camera, so then I can use that better camera to then unbox and show everything else, right? Like it's kind of stupid because I mean, this one's okay, but this does seem like kind of a unique or novel form of content, like where a lot of people show themselves, but who just shows what they're doing necessarily. Reduce risk of fire, electric shock. Carefully follow these instructions. Just a lot of generic, basic stuff. This is the accessories thing that it was saying, oh, for foreign accessories. But that's always weird, like when they show a plug or whatever, like, oh, the different plugs that you have in different countries. Like, why is that really necessary to do? Why couldn't it just be one uniform thing? Right, where like I have these external hard drives. I should maybe show those off for now that we're talking about like showing IRL type stuff. It's it comes with like 10 different little converters or adapters for the plug, right? So like I assume these are ones that are used in different parts of the world. So like you have all these different shapes and different ones. So like no matter where you are, it could potentially work, which feels weird that should be necessary, but I don't know what the actual reasoning is for that. So this is just, I don't even know what this is. Probably just a list of the contents. Like a big pamphlet. Here we go. Camera, digital. It all seems like it's in a different language. There is no English part. Visualization, whatever. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll toss the, oh, there's more. Oh, this is the English one. Never mind. It's like this big pamphlet. We use environmentally conscious packaging materials, of course. Never mind the shit that's used to actually make the camera is going to be, you care about the packaging, but not the actual camera itself. Like imagine, like, is it really necessary? Oh, is this item necessary at all in human life in a regular thing? No. But yet you spend $500 on some shit for like content creation, which is even what this was marked under too. It's not like I'm just saying that's what I could use it for or somebody else. That's literally, I think, what it was listed as too, right? Like a camera for content creators. But it's like, so you would do that, but you don't care about what's used to make that or that it's not necessary. But you do care about, oh, the packaging. It's like, I always make fun of that too in terms of like recycling. You'd live your whole lifestyle in a wasteful, ostentatious, extravagant way, all these different things you don't need, all these different things that are, exuberant or luxurious and excessive, right, in every area of your life. But then, oh, you'll recycle one little plastic bottle and then you'll feel good about yourself. Like you don't really care if you go minimalistic or, do something more substantial. So just for show and gratification, like if you really cared, it wouldn't be a big deal. So now we're going to open the thing all together. I can't really, all these QR codes and shit scare me as if anybody would give a shit to do it with my shitty small stream, but for fuck's sake. Right, like in this day and age, everything could maybe dox you. This part is a little hard to open. There's like a little other flap. So now I should show the inside of it a little more. So this is, we just opened the, oh, this thing's kind of blocking me. I'm getting photobombed by my own fucking box. So we have that there. This is just what we opened. And then, let's see here. This kind of digests what we're looking at beautifully. And then, just seems so stupid, but this is the kind of thing that people do or that people like, I guess, in this day and age. Or again, just do it with face cam too. But again, this is going to be the camera itself in the little white wrap here. I'm going to end up damaging something or breaking something because I'm doing this with one hand, which is just, it shouldn't be that uncomfortable. Everything kind of gets stuck in there. Like, I don't know why it's like that. Like, why is it not meant to? Oh my God. What if I really only have one arm? Like, everything is so difficult to do with that. Yeah, here's the camera and the little white wrap. So this is $500 worth. Pretty hard to believe. Or, don't touch the lens or you'll be like super paranoid about it. Right, like that's the whole psychological effect is like when people get new things like a new car or something like, oh, now you don't even want to drive it or you don't want to potentially get it dirty or whatever. Right, like you'll be too perfectionist about it or something. So now, what else is in here? This is how the inside of the box looks. So we took the camera out, obviously, from that bigger part. And then it's very hard for me to do this while showing it the whole time, even though that's kind of the point. There's one flap actually that has nothing in there, which is odd. Like we opened that one part at the bottom, right? And there's nothing actually in there. The top thing has something white in it. So we'll show that. The side here has a little wire and something white. This is, I don't actually know what it is. Maybe a SD card or something. There's a wire here as well, and then gonna be like a charger. See now, I don't know if one of these is actually gonna be. This is like a USB. So like this is what I could use to plug it into the computer and then use it as a webcam, assuming, or whatever, like I'm doing now, assuming that's even something you want to do with it. Okay, and then we have the final flap here, which I can't get with the one hand without man, it's crazy how hard that is. I guess this part wouldn't be an issue if I wasn't holding the mic that I'm using actually. You can kind of clip it to your collar or whatever, but it's not I don't know, it's not as good or my settings are such that I have to hold it a little bit closer for it to be good. So you have here and then you have the little white thing at the top, which you can't really even see, but whatever. Pulling it out from the very top part. Yeah, that one compartment at the bottom was actually empty. I wonder if that's maybe a mistake, like it's meant to have something or it's just to have a consistent design in there. I'm not sure. So we have 3 little white packets here. One for the camera, one for this, which I don't know what they are. And then we have the little black wire. And see, this could constitute like a review too. Like, okay, we're saying, should you buy this? And I can already tell you, fuck no, you shouldn't buy it. And the reason why is because why would you really do this for any reason? Like, I don't know. Like a lot of people just use their, again, you'll have like an iPhone or some shit and just use the camera on that. But I don't know, like what is really the point of this? And I can't even explain it as I'm doing it. I'm just got it just so I could unbox the other things using it. Yeah, maybe I won't even necessarily use it now, or maybe I won't be able to because it'll be in need of a charge or something. But I kind of wanted to knock a few of these things off that I got. Right, I have at least 4 things here, including the camera that I wanted to do. But I don't have to like rush it and do it all in one time. So we have, again, that's the wire. This is going to be the white bag little number 1. So let's look at it here. This is really annoying. I should have been better prepared for this. 'Cause I want to show the whole act of me opening it and stuff. Okay, so here we have whatever's in this. So let's kind of dump it out, even though if it's fragile, maybe you shouldn't. But this is like a almost like the windscreen type shit. I'm not 100% sure what this even is. It seems to be like a microphone. I guess I should have read the instructions more carefully, but this is like a microphone attachment almost, which maybe as it's pictured here. Oh, okay, that is like the part that's on top. I guess I could show the picture of this. Right, the little shit on the top there, and then, which is also what my mic that I'm using right now has too. I'm not sure that that part would even be super important. Right, like even if I'm using that to show something, I'm not going to use necessarily the mic on there. Although it might be pretty good quality, come to think of it. I wasn't even thinking about it for that purpose. Like, as far as using it as a mic, although if you're shooting like a short film or something, yeah, I wasn't thinking about the built-in mic because I was thinking even, oh, how do I attach this to it? Right, if I want to use this directly. And you might think, oh, why do you even need to do that? Why can't you just use this separately like I'm doing now? But actually, there is a relevance for the timestamp because, like, pretend you're shooting somebody in person, right, with the camera, obviously. You're shooting them, and then you have this mic separately recording the audio, and you have the camera separately recording the video. Now, it might not sync up exactly right with the time that you started, right? You have to start them at exactly the same time or whatever. So you want it to be connected directly and using that potentially. This almost seems like a battery. Yeah, like your little ASMR sounds, crinkling paper and shit. Like that really is the very concept of ASMR is like a very meme worthy thing. It's like literally any normal thing you could be doing, right, is going to, oh, there's gonna be QR codes and shit even on this. Even on the fucking battery. Docs me with a fucking battery QR code. Like I don't understand what exactly that would do, but no, it's a case where I'm gonna get battery acid all over my hand. Good thing I'm wearing gloves, but that's not. I'm not wearing the glove to protect me from that. I'm wearing the glove to protect my identity or to ward off cult of personality as a general philosophical criteria. So the point is that what was I saying? Whatever, I forgot. So we had to tear that one actually open. This one seems like it has an opening here a little bit. So this is going to be the camera itself. And again, if I can get it to where, I mean, again, I don't know how much you can really get out of this. It's not like I'm an expert on cameras, but this is just showing you what it is and great detail. What exactly is in the box. And again, the quality of it. I mean, it seems a little expensive for that, but it's hard to, there are some that go up to like fucking $1,500, $1,800 for like really professional purposes. But those might be more like studio and filmmaker type things. But yeah, like the one I'm using now versus the one we're about to use, we could definitely compare it and see what, how shitty this one is by comparison, which it has every right to be shitty because it's, again, a $30 Walmart, just random one. Oh yeah, I was ridiculing ASMR, like, oh, somebody eating food. Like, imagine eating food on video, or like, who would want to see you do that? But now, not only are people tolerant of you doing that, necessarily, like, some big streamer taking a break and eating food and doing it on camera, like the way that XQC would do or whoever would do, right? But now it's turned into even further than that. Like, oh, it's mukbang ASMR, and that's actually a good thing, and you actually like that. Like, it's literally anything you could possibly imagine, right? Could be ASMR, like just any random thing, scratching, like the little shit I was just making the noise with that, just talking, like literally any random normal thing that you would do, right? Now suddenly becomes desirable. Burping or coughing could be it, or sneezing, or I don't know. It's just so dumb. Like how broad it is as a general concept of like, okay, it could be relaxing or something, fine, right? But it's just taken to a extreme. Okay, so this is the camera itself. That's the screen there that you can see. Where presumably, obviously, you'll be watching what it's showing on there. Then you have the side here. I can't see like super well even what I'm looking at. Could be a slot for something, maybe SD card or whatever. And then put this little fucking thing away. Like, I'm sure there's channels that just do this alone. Like, they just unbox all the new tech that comes out when it comes out and does like a review of it and whatever. So, um, yeah, you can see all this shit here, and then you can see the reflection of the camera and shit in there, my other camera. You have some controls there. On the side, you have, this is the other side. Also seems like it has a slot for something. Okay, this is the one side here. Very technical jargon that I'm using here. Then this is the top. Let me actually look at it myself very closely. There's a look/open part on the top. And then there's this little open area that I don't know what it's exactly for. Plug of some kind. I don't actually see where you'd be using the plugs. Oh, and then there's some buttons on this side too. Hang on. So you have the controls there, right, on that part. Then you have some stuff here, some buttons and whatnot, right on there. And then you have, I guess that's maybe the mic area. Then you have the lens itself here, which I'm gonna have to like open up, right, somehow. Yeah, this is the Sony Z whatever, I already forgot. ZV-1F, which again, I assume this is about an average one by like professional standards. This wouldn't be up to par, but it's probably better than your average one, or it'd be interesting to compare that. Like, is this camera better, which is a standalone camera that's meant just for this purpose? Is it better than, or how does it compare to like the newest iPhone 16, whatever camera on there, because those cameras are surprisingly good actually. You can always clown stuff and say like, do a challenge, try to get professional cameras and see how much better they are than the actual iPhone. But then some of that comes down to like filters and how you're using it, right? They'll say that like, $1,500 camera, but $1 cameraman versus, oh, the phone could be also $1,500, but then it's meant for many other things than just using as a camera. So you always expect that to be better, right? Right? Like you pay more for the phone, but the camera shouldn't be comparable or as good because you're buying that just for the camera. It's kind of like console versus PC. That, oh, console should be better because you're buying it just for that mainly. Whereas the PC, you could buy, a computer for many things, but obviously then the PC ends up being better too. Like, sure, it's more expensive, but it should be because, it has so much more functionality. Um, I always just like to clown console for being so shit. Um, yeah, now we have to open the lens. I don't know if I even want to mess with this because it's hard for me to set it up as I'm showing it like this. It's very, very difficult for me to even, I can't see like what I'm doing with it. I'm looking at like the screen, like my computer screen, which is showing like what you're seeing on camera, but even that it's showing it smaller. I don't know, like it's not the best setup to actually do technical things, but just to mostly show it off, it seems pretty cool. It seems very small actually. The camera staring back into the eye of its replacement, like a stare down, considering how shitty it is. Like it's like giving the new camera is giving the old camera a dirty look to say like, oh, look how shitty you are. Right? This is looking eye to eye. So we just spun this little thing off, and you have to maybe be very paranoid or particular about the lens of it, like, you know, whatever. If that gets damaged over time or whatever, that's very valuable. But it's just kind of wide open. Like there's nothing like that. That's a cover, but that's only. It's not like a cover that you can shoot through, right? It's a cover that just covers it. Period. So the actual setup of this is probably not going to happen right now. So maybe I'm satisfied. Maybe that's all I wanted to do because I can't. I'd have to take a break and set it up because I can't really do it technically as. I wish I could do that, but I don't know how. I can't really show it as I'm doing anything. If I wanted to just use this as a webcam right now, I'll replace the current webcam that I'm using, and then I'll unbox something else with it. So let me see if I can do that. Okay, so I located the battery part is the battery is on the bottom here, like where that little switch is. Right, so you pull the switch, it opens the thing. Let's see if I can do that here. Even though fucking I'm gonna damage something by doing this, I swear. I just want to show like every step of what I'm doing, but okay, so you hit the switch here and then it should open. There, right, open the flap, you can see that. Then you put the battery in here. Let's show maybe the inside. Right, it'll have like those three little areas that line up with the. It's very similar to another camera that I had. You do the same thing with that. It like has a flap that you open, and then that one's totally falling apart too. Maybe I should show that. I can show anything now. Even some of my old shit. So not so much an unboxing. I can introduce a new format instead of an unboxing of a new piece of technology or something you got. You could do like a eulogy for something old. Like I'll bury my old camera, so to speak, right? Give a final eulogy and a passing to it. The battery flap won't close. What the batteries themselves are kind of broken. The batteries don't go in properly. I have to use like a knife to take them out and put them back in. Like it's still a decent camera and it's still in decent shape. It had like 2 different batteries, so like when one would run out, you could switch it with the other. Right, you can charge one while you're using the other one, kind of. Yeah, we'll put this in. It has like the 3 little grooves, right, to match up in there. So let me try it. Right, nice little satisfying thing in there, assuming that's even correct. So now that's in there. I might actually miss that feature of having the second battery. So this only has the one. That is actually interesting that they would do that. That one had 2, or did I maybe have to order it because I thought one was, no, I think it came like that. So you keep one in there and right, and so while you're using it, you can charge the other one. Then if it dies, you switch them out and then charge the other one that you just took out, right? So you're always, that's a pretty interesting feature to have. Now this should be the battery is in there. And then it won't close. It'll still stay flapping unless you hit that little bar again. You have to like pull that bar again, right? Now the battery's in there. I assume it'll need a charge. I doubt it would have any like already be pre-charged. Although some things do come like that. Or I can just use it still and actively be charging it as it's plugged into my USB anyway, as it would have to be for me to use it like I'm using this one. But yeah, we have this, and then the one other area of note is the is this area here, which I couldn't see very clearly before. But you can see like the 3 little flaps. One of them is for the one of them is a microphone slot, one of them is a charging slot, and one of them is a HDMI slot, which that HDMI won't be like a proper HDMI cable, I'm sure. So I tried opening this flap a second ago, and they're very difficult to do with that because they're kind of, let me see if I can get it. I swear I'm gonna damage something like this, but yeah, is there like a no glove warning? Like don't wear gloves while using this technology, but let's just try to open each of these. Like, yeah, this is hard to do, especially fucking especially with the glove on it. I don't know if I can do it. All right, I'll just do it off camera. Hang on. So all 3 of these are open now, so you can take a look at it and see that um what each of the wires look like. So this won't be a proper HDMI from the perspective that, oh my god. Won't be a proper HDMI, like obviously what you'd expect is a much bigger wire. You have here, let's try to get it so you can see this. So I don't know if you can. Right, this is the HDMI one. And you close it. These seem like they'd be easy to break off, which is exactly probably what I'm doing right now. But this one is the, all right, so that's the HDMI, right? So we do that, we close it. Then this is the charger, I believe. Second one is the charging slots, which I don't know how well you can see this, if at all. A lot of shit. I'm gonna fucking break this thing by doing this. Holy shit. I can't fucking even see it myself. Whatever. That second one is the charger slot, and then I'll keep that open because we're probably about to charge it right now. And then the third one is the microphone slot, microphone jack. So that would be the red right there at the top. Okay, so we're done with that. Let's just leave it charging then, and maybe not even do this right now. Right, or again, since you can actively charge it, you might be able to do that as well. I can tell you a few problems with the setup already. That it's at such an angle that I have to kind of reach for it, and I can't really see what I'm doing, which is kind of how it was before. That's why I played so badly in chess on there, and why I failed the chess challenge and had to delete my account. But no, it's a situation where whatever. That's at a distance. Then the whole glove thing, all this sort of self-inflicted, but still, it's kind of interesting. So maybe we won't try to overdo it. Like we did that. The problem is I kind of wanted to show it like, I wanted to show the active setup and use of it. But the reason why that would be difficult is because it's hard for me to figure out what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Like with this position and everything, but like I kind of want to show a how to and a setup and, like show you all the features of actually using it. But yeah, this one would be kind of a big deal because once I do this one, then I can use it for everything else, hopefully.